Good morning, travelers. Hello again. It's your host, Richard Banfield, ready to take you on a trip through some interesting and creepy tales on phone calls from the Nether regions. Here we are in the early morning hours. Bright and early. Hope you're all getting up and getting ready for work or going to bed after a long night of watching the skies. As always, we've got our phone calls, we've got news, and we've got some good feelings for you all to send to you all out there, so we're sending them. And I hope you're receiving them. So here we go, let's dive right in to phone calls from the Nether regions. Our news of the weird this week comes from a small town in Ohio where the people in the town think that their mayor, their newly elected mayor, may secretly be an android. Now, why do they think that, you may ask? Well, when he was elected, his first law passed was banning of rain in the town. So first law was no rain. The second law was you don't have to eat anymore. And his victory speech was simply the word affirmative. Now, there's no true way of being able to tell if someone is secretly an android, as technology has likely surpassed the human eye's capability to discern between man and robot. The uncanny valley is easy to leap across these days, but just give them a good close look, and you might be able to tell. So, keep an eye on your own mare. News of the weird. Phone calls from the Nether regions is back. And it's time for that segment of all segments, the segment that we love so much, the phone call segment. It's a good chunk of our name, so we definitely do it. We take phone calls. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go to our wild card line, and we'll pick that up. I see a caller here. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Richard? Is your name Richard?
Yes.
I heard it in a dream.
Oh. Okay, you heard. Are you a listener of the show, or?
Yes, I've heard a few episodes at night when I don't want to sleep.
Okay, so you're a bit of an insomniac. Is that what?
I might be a prophet.
Okay, wow, this is very exciting. We do have a lot of seers and prophetic visionaries on our show. Do you have anything that you foresaw speaking to us? Is that what you're saying, or?
Well, I had a dream the other night, so when I dream, I see things.
Wow.
Like I'm asleep, but I'm still seeing things even though I'm sleeping.
So you're talking about some type of dream.
It's like a dream, but I'm seeing things I haven't seen before.
Wow. So as we know, most dreams involve things that you've seen before. It's hard for a human being to dream something that they haven't seen. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I said this to a guy at work, and he thought that it was just me, and I said, it can't. Someone must have heard of this before, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, we all have to face the skeptics in our life. What was your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Tim Oliver.
Tim. Well, we do have to face. And where are you calling from, Tim?
I'm in New York State. I'm in Yonkers.
Well, congratulations on that. I've got some good friends in that state. Hello to all of you out there. We do all have to deal with those skeptics in our life.
I work with my coworker. His name's
Mm-hmm.
Jay. And I was telling him because I had a dream, and we were like living together, like we had become roommates, you know, and that we've never been roommates before, but I had a dream about it, and so I told him, and he said that's not normal, that people don't do that, and I said, but it could mean something, you know, this could really mean something.
That's incredible. He didn't want to accept the truth that you saw this in a dream.
He wants to move to Brooklyn or something. He doesn't see the future.
Now, sometimes people, when they're faced with a hard truth like that, it's tough for them to accept that it has to happen. My current wife, she didn't want to marry me, but now we're married. And, I mean, sometimes you just got to force the issue a little bit.
You know, I think dreams have made me realize that the future doesn't want to be here, but we can force it to be here. Otherwise, we're always going to be stuck in the present unless we dream something new, and then we make it happen with hard work and sharing our dreams.
That's absolutely incredible. Give us something else. Give us some other visions. Have you seen anything for me or anything for phone calls from the Nether regions in general?
I was hesitant to bring it up. I don't know. I don't want to be doom and gloom, you know, on such a great show.
Hit us with it.
Last night, the reason I was up so late, I had a dream, and there was this phone in the dream, you know, and I think that the phone was you. You know, because the name of your show, Phone Calls, you know.
Oh, right, right. Oh, yeah.
You know, and then there was like a barrel, and I saw a man, and he threw the phone in a barrel, and then he closed it, and he looked at me, and he just stared at me till I woke up.
Wow.
I don't know if that's something that might happen, because that's never happened to me before. I've never been somewhere that had a barrel. So it's not something that ever happened to me.
I do have a few barrels around my compound, but I deign to think that I would throw my phone into a barrel. That seems so out of character for me. I'd be interested to see the situation in which that occurs.
Just be careful. You know, the way that dream man stared at me, it just gave me a feeling like I had, you know, like when you drink too much milk and you're all gooey and you're sticky inside.
I know
that's how
feeling.
I felt.
That's a familiar feeling to all of us, and I'm sure all of our listeners out there can relate to a heavy milk drinking scenario. Wow. Do you have anything else for us before you go?
Just don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid to dream, because dreams are just the future clawing at the inside of our minds. Well, thank you for calling, and thank you to all of our listeners out there for listening to the caller. And we're gonna get out of here and go home. I've got some pizza in the fridge that I really just want to chow down on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. That's another episode of Phone Calls from the Nether regions.